People
But as it turned out,
it turned out magnificent.
magnificent. Okay, one thing more, and you could probably say this is the crowning achievement of your tenure as the Michigan Republican Party chairman, and that is the 1980 Republican National Convention in Detroit, which you fought to win for Michigan, the only national convention held by either of the two major parties in the state of Michigan in all of American history. Tell us what you can about everything leading up to that momentous event.
I knew a little about the Detroit Convention Bureau. I had been a member when I was in the theaters. A guy by the name of Len Ralston had gone to Houston years ago. I wanted to put my name in for the presidency. Dick Helmbrecht, who had something to do at that time with the Convention Bureau as a representative of the governor on an advisory board or something, advised me not to, and I pulled my name out. Anyways, early in the process, some hotshot sales representative from the Westin Hotel came to me and said, I want you to know I want to get you the Republican National Convention. Oh, I said, you are? Yep. I said, young man, before you go and screw up the works, you don't do anything without myself and our National Committee and the National Committee. We make the decision, so keep your nose out of it. So that conversation must have gone back to, basically I got a call from Ron Steffens, who was president of the Convention Bureau. And I got together with him. I went to his office, and make a long story short, Ron was farsighted. We got not only the Republican Convention that year, we also won the Super Bowl within a month of the Republican Convention. And the thing was, Ron put together a magnificent 12-machine slide presentation about Detroit. He had a guy that was somewhere in radio in those days by the name of J.P. McCarthy narrate the thing. We convinced Coleman Young that it might be good to have the Republicans in town. We put together a magnificent thing. We flew to Washington and made the presentation. I believe it was at the Sheridan Park Hotel. The key to it, I believe, was that all the people on the site committee, who was members of the National Committee who were responsible for recommending a site, were chaired by the National Committee man out of Wisconsin, a friend of mine and of Ellie's, named Odie Fish. We got the site committee to town, and you do all the stuff. We had a party at the Edzo Ford House, and we had this, that, and the other thing. But we had the tour of the hotels, and I wanted to take Odie to Canada because his reluctance was having a national convention in a foreign country just won't work. We went over, and I think we went to the Richelieu Hotel. They were offering us rooms at $25 US. That was US, or $25 Canadian, which would have been like $20 US. Wow. As we were leaving the Richelieu Hotel, Odie, who smoked cigars, stopped at the cigar stand and got himself a pocket full of cigars. Got back in the car, loaded them up. Gee, they were from Cuba. Ooh, he was enjoying this, and as we were going, we passed the Holiday Inn, which is on the Detroit River. And Odie said, you know, that'd be a great headquarters hotel for the Wisconsin delegation. I knew then we had a problem. We had a chance. And I do believe the cigar...
It's the Cuban cigars, again. Everybody knocks tobacco.
It got Odie, who was such a good friend, an ally in all the rules, all the convention fights of mine, to really push harder. They made a decision on a Monday at a National Committee meeting in Washington at the Sheridan Park Hotel. I remember it was a Super Bowl Sunday where the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys were having a great fight.
Yeah.
I sat in my room all day, and one press person after the other. I didn't know anything. I really didn't. And the next day, Odie gets up before the committee and moves because of all the various that Detroit be the... Well, the Reagan people on the committee went bonkers. I can remember Frank Fahrenkopf, who was he's the guy I loved.
Yeah.
Frank Fahrenkopf was the chairman out of Utah. He got up and said, They'll be turning cars sideways in the tunnels so people can't get to the convention. All the horror stories they did. Well, we had a floor fight. The only floor fight I ever remember in the National Committee. And
What were the other cities, the big contenders?
well, there was Dallas and Minneapolis, and it really was a fight between Ford's Detroit and Reagan's Dallas. That's what it all was. Peter Fletcher got up to say, I grabbed his coattails and I said, sit down and shut up. Don't say a word. I didn't want him getting up big and using big words and getting them all. And so I finally, and it was known at that time that I was leaving, I was going to be director of the Department of Commerce. I got up and finally thanked the convention, or the committee, for the kindnesses over all these years and their consideration today. And I said, I'll be gone, but I want to promise you this. If you come to Detroit, I'll make sure you have a good convention.
And they did.
I'm sorry.
And they did.
And they did.
It was a great convention, and it was a great way for you to go out as a
Absolutely.
great state chairman.
I'm sorry to get emotional, but that was one of those things.
It's a good way to end it. You've given a tremendous interview. You had a whole series of highlights during your tenure. Thank you very much, Bill McLaughlin, for these moments with Michigan Political History Society.